I'm Bob McCaughey. I'm an historian teaching at Barnard and Columbia University. Well, the brevity of it, I think the better part of 3 semesters and up and gone, off to the wars. Always some question about how old he was. He did tend to vacillate on that point, but in any event, he was one of the older students at King's College at the time. Some of the Gouverneur Morris, I think, came at 12. So it's more of what we think of as a grammar school arrangement than a part of a huge university. It must have had 15 or 20 classmates. Pretty intimate operation. And I imagine he was the mature one, if not the grown-up in the room, at least the more mature. Exploited the faculty to the extent that chose his own courses, found one of the medical professors interested in ballistics and military tactics and just took courses with him, leaving the others behind. Practice, I think, after trying to jump the line at Princeton, finding King's College much more amenable to his aggressiveness, I think we'd probably politely call it. And then he was gone. Although he came back in the 1780s and helped with the rebranding of what had been a terribly loyalist institution into one of the Republic's colleges, served as a member of the Board of Trustees, sent 2 sons to the college, to what was then Columbia, having republicanized its title, and remained, I think, a loyal alumnus throughout his rather short life. He showed a capacity for hunting out, finding people who could be of help to him, and return that favor in kind by providing, often in the form of writing something up for somebody else. That was the exchange that he operated under. No name, no family, no resources beyond his own wit and pen. So that was pretty much something he brought with him up from the islands, but sharpened at King's College. Well, when it was King's College, it was an offshoot of Trinity Church. The children that were sent here, the young boys that were sent here, were probably all held, their families held pews in the church. A good deal of interconnectivity among them. A few people connected with the royal administration, but an insider's operation. Probably the most loyal of all American institutions in terms of staying with the crown. So its shelf life was limited once the revolution went the way it did. And it was only a forgiving legislature that allowed it to reconstitute itself after the war. An act of reconciliation, I think, between the loyalists who had fled and were anxious to return to the city because that's where the money was, and the patriots who were ready to let them back in. And one way of doing that was to reconstitute King's College and republicanize it. And when you looked around for alums who had any credentials during the revolution itself, Hamilton was the guy.